What's going on, people? It's Thomas, and in this video I want to show you exactly how I use SpyHero to find $1 million ads. So let's get straight into it. For those of you who have no idea what SpyHero is, it's a spy tool that was originally designed for Facebook ads, to find Facebook ads. I don't know what's going on with my hair. It looks like I've got a bit of a toupee going on. However, it's now progressed. It has multiple ad platforms added to it. I use SpyHero primarily to just get ideas and inspiration for ads and offers that might be worth testing. So SpyHero, in my opinion, and from what I've seen, is probably the biggest library of ads specific to ClickBank, Buy Goods, Digistore and MaxWeb affiliate networks. So if you're an affiliate running those style of offers, it's a very good place to find angles, creatives, ad copy, landing pages, and even offers to promote. Now, I'm not saying to rip and run. That's not what I'm saying. It's not what I don't advocate that at all. What I'm saying is to get ideas from. So if I see there's a specific angle working or looks like it's working for a particular offer or niche, I might want to take that and see how I can mold it into my own campaigns. So we're on the SpyHero dashboard. I think it's a good idea to sort of give you a walkthrough so you can see exactly how to use it. There is a link below, by the way, where you can get a 14-day free trial. It is an affiliate link. But what type of affiliate would I be if I don't drop my affiliate link in there? So we're on the dashboard, and let me move my, some would say beautiful, I'll say ugly, face out of the way. But we've got the dashboard, right? So right now we're in Facebook, top left. This is the home page where you go when you log in. You can see just by this drop down on the top left, we've got Facebook, YouTube, native, TikTok, ecom. So we have an array of different ad platforms. Now, I'm not a huge user of these other platforms, right? I've used YouTube and native a little bit in SpyHero, but I haven't really gone through it that much. The biggest catalog or library is Facebook, and we can see we're on Facebook now. Over 783, nearly 84,000 ads, which is a pretty big number considering that the vast majority of these ads are specific to ClickBank, Buy Goods, Digistore, and MaxWeb affiliate networks and offers, right? You know, there's other networks, there's other spy tools out there that have millions of ads in their library. However, they're all types of ads, and I'm sure a lot of you will see the novel ads, right? Where you type in certain keywords in other spy tools and you're just hit by thousands of ads going to a book. I'm sure lots of people have said, oh, maybe it's just me when I'm typing my seedy little searches looking for male health, male enhancement and men's health offers. But I've never seen that on SpyHero. These are legit ads, and you know, we're going to walk through, so let's go through this, right? So we've got total ads, the amount of ads running that SpyHero has managed to crawl through, which caters for 1,000 or 1,080 offers and over 15,000 affiliate IDs, which is pretty cool. So we can see we've got the top offers. Now, this is based off the amount of live ads running. You can see here, right? We've got stacked up ads running. So Aquasculpt at the top. SpyHero is, found 436 active ads running to Aquasculpt. So this doesn't always mean that this is the top offer on ClickBank, Buy Goods or wherever, but it's a very good indicator. We know where people are running traffic, right? I don't know why I'm going off camera there, but I'm trying to get my microphone. Anyway. Mytelin, another weight loss offer. Memory Wave, which is really intriguing to me. I haven't got anything running on Memory Wave at the moment, but it's one that I want to look at, and maybe we look at that on this video today. Men Balance Pro, which is a prostate offer. Ted's Woodworking, where, what type of video on ClickBank would this be without Ted's Woodworking making a feature? The Amish Ways Academy, I've never even heard of that offer. Forgotten Home Apothecary, apothecary, Navy SEAL. So we've got some, interesting survival offers that I've made it. Lost generator. Now look, I'm looking at this on the week, right? Today it's Saturday, 9th of August. So I'm assuming this runs Monday through Sunday. So let's change this to this month. We're 9th of August, so we're only a few days extra there. But we can see nothing really much changing. A couple of shifts in position. And then we can look at this year. We can see Mytilin, Aquasculpt at the top, Apanale, Memory Wave still up there, 5th. Breathe, which is a respiratory offer, Nagano Tonic, another weight loss, Boostaro, ED offer, Gluco Freedom, none of the survival offers on there. Look at that, that's interesting, right? That survival and DIY all make a little pop-up this month. We are in August, not really sure if that has anything to do with it. Whether, DIY and survival stuff maybe pops off a little bit in the summer. For me, survival has always been hot, trending news. And when I'm saying survival, I mean the Operation Blackout style offers, which are really sort of based off fear. I remember, running and having good success with a couple of those on the back of the Ukraine-Russia news and then also Israel-Palestine. Not saying that's the right thing to do, but that's always where I've seen those type of offers pop off. Now I can see these aren't really, as aggressive as those style of offers that I'm talking about, but it's interesting. Okay, what does intrigue me is Memory Wave, and we're going to go into that in a second. Now another thing that I really like, and we can see here we've got top offers running right now. SpyHero has changed within the last probably couple of months, but there's new features, there's new additions being added. I quite like it. It's really good information, to be fair. But we can see the top offers running right now, okay? And then also, I love this trending offers. So again, I'm not sure what this is based off of. If it's based off the amount of new ads found running, I'm not sure. It's kind of what I'd guess it would be based off of. But, don't quote me on that. I have no idea. But we can see Audi Zen or Audi Zen, whatever you want to call it, is a tinnitus offer. That's really running up the ranks. Nerve Calm is neuropathy. Men Balance Pro, we saw that up here, right? So Men Balance Pro prostate on buy goods. Nano Defense, which is fungus. Joseph's Well, which is another survival offer, which is neither of the ones up here. Lean Biome, which is I'm not going to say very old. It is, it's at least a few years old, which is interesting to see that. I think those guys have got a contest or competition running at the moment, which might mean that's why we're seeing that offer pop up. It's a really good offer, to be fair. For weight loss and for these style of offers, there's a lot of credibility behind that offer. It's worth checking out if you're interested in weight loss offers and supplements. Prostafense, another prostate offer, and Joint Vibe. So I really like this feature. I think this is a cool feature because whilst everyone's looking here, the top 10 and also the top 10 on ClickBank, just gives us a little idea and opener as to what's moving, but maybe not drawn too much attention yet. So I really like this feature. And then we've got a few ads. So usually, 2 rows of ads that are more recently just been scraped, crawled, whatever you want to call it. And we can see knee pain or joint pain is what I'm going to guess here. And then some kind of weight loss, right? Lipo, I can see salt. So the pink salt trick is usually what I've been seeing, which I think off memory is Prozenit. Don't quote me on that again. All right, so how I use SpyHero. That's a 9-minute walkthrough of the homepage. So I appreciate that you stuck with me for that. But what I really like to do, for me, I just like to go and see what's going on. And the easiest place for me is the magnifying glass. So if I hit that, it's going to open up everything from, within recent order. Okay, so are we a little bit zoomed in here? I don't know, you tell me, but it seems like we've got, we're looking at this, it seems really close up. Okay, so first things, we've got this Angela Davis page. These look like they're brand new ads or just been added to SpyHero. Quite a few, 2 rows, 3 rows, 4 rows, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 7 and a bit rows of new ads for this Angela Davis page. Let's go back up to the top, because what catches my eye is this clock. I want to walk through this because this is something that I see happening more and more. Usually with deep fake ads. Again, I'm not advocating deep fake. I'm just showing you what I usually see. So look at the time on this ad. It's 12 minutes. 12-minute long video ad. Now I'm not gonna bet, because I don't want to lose money, but I'm gonna confidently assume that the actual content of this ad is only 2 or 3 minutes long, if that. The rest of the time is going to be this clock. And I think the reason why they're doing that is to sort of swerve or minimize the risk of rejection. Because I'm going to assume that the content of the ad is going to be fairly aggressive. I don't know if it's deep fake. I haven't seen this ad. I haven't seen this page. But let's have a look.
My husband called me delusional when I told him about the viral pink salt recipe, but then got jealous when he saw me at the beach wearing the same bikini I wore at 23.
This morning on Take It Off Today, an incredible transformation on TikTok. Her weight loss video went viral with 12 million views.
No transcripts.
Can a little salt in your routine really recreate the Mount Gero effect on your body and make your pants feel loose in just 1 week? Fact
I don't know
or
if
fake?
you can hear
Today,
the voiceover.
I'm here to teach you how to make the new recipe with salt and 3 other ingredients that, when combined, create an effect 93 times more powerful than those expensive weight loss pens, but in a natural and safe way. I started doing this salt trick last month to lose weight
by
fast,
the way, I'm
or
not
as some of my
saying to do
followers
this.
like to call
In
it,
fact,
homemade
I would
mounge. And honestly, I had to stop. I never imagined I'd go from extra large to medium in under 30 days, but I wasn't the first one. Have you heard of Selena 46, who's going viral right now? She was one of the first to try it. She did it for just 7 days and melted off 13.
So let's skip ahead a little bit. We're 48 seconds in. So 2 minutes of Oprah. Wow. And then look. So now we hit this 304 mark.
To watch the recipe and start clearing out your wardrobe because your current clothes are about to get way too
I'm not
big.
saying
Hurry
to do
and
this,
check
by
it
the way.
out before it's gone.
Why
You'll
we're
thank
even
me later.
focusing on
Bye-bye.
this. But I guess there's people out there who've maybe seen ads like this and wonder what the hell's going on. So now for the next, however many minutes, 9 minutes, is just this clock, right? And the only thing I can think of is it just, if Facebook is looking at the amount of time and, maybe the bulk of the video or the majority of the video is compliant, which obviously this is compliant, and then there's a little bit that's not, then obviously potentially this style of ad minimizes it. Again, I'm not saying to do it. Just want to, give you my insight into it. I definitely wouldn't do this. But I don't know where to run into. I can see it's buy goods. And let's not even bother going into that. I don't want to stumble across something that we shouldn't. So let's swerve that. Let's have a look. But that's the first ad. Look how many ads they've got pumping. And I imagine, although they don't all look the same, they're not all, unless they're just a different hook. This is a much shorter ad, look, 1 minute 18.
This morning on Take It Off Today, an incredible transformation on TikTok. Her weight loss video went viral with 12 million views. Take a look at this.
What if I told you that this 3-minute recipe can get any exercise, 3 health, very active when taking bariatric surgery, but with one big difference. The best part is start feeling your jeans loosen as soon as today. All you need.
So this looks like it's a real clip taken and then just synced with the script. Again, I don't know if it is or not. I don't recognize this character or avatar on Arcads or Creatify. Doesn't mean that it's not, by the way. It just means that I just haven't seen it, but I don't spend a lot of time in there anyway. Okay, so there's a mix of different ads. Again, I want to skip past this page because I think it's just running a little bit too aggressive for what we're after. But this is what I like to do. So I'm coming in and I'm, stumbling across things and I'm having a look. I'll spend anywhere from minutes to an hour or two in here. Not every day, but maybe once or twice a week, because I like to keep a finger on the pulse. I like to see what's going on. I like to see if there's any kind of creative that catches my eye that I think can be applied into my own campaigns. Obviously, I like to also, and my creative team especially, I'm not the creative guy, by the way, but I like to, create our own unique angles and concepts without input. But a great place to find inspiration is without a doubt in SpyHero or Spy Tools in general, right? Again, anything with this sort of short, though, this is all right. This is neuropathy. I like this style of ad here. And again, I'm not saying it's legit. There's so many ads that just you know, are non-compliant at the moment, and I'm not saying I'm any better.
This video is blowing up because this specialist said something crazy about nerve pain. And what really got me, he says it's not about aging at all. Just listen to what he says.
This is Richard Less. He's a specialist in neuropathy and chronic nerve pain. Today, we're going to talk about the yellow vitamin. If you or someone you love is dealing with nerve pain or neuropathy, you'll definitely want to hear this.
Let me tell you something interesting. Did you know that neuropathic pain often has nothing to do with wear and tear on the peripheral nerves or localized nerves?
So it's an interesting concept. I don't know if this is taken from the VSL or if this is AI. I'm not sure, but it's interesting. The yellow vitamin, I can't remember where that's from. Is it Alpha Curve or Aria Leaf? What offer is this? I feel like it might be Aria Leaf, the yellow vitamin. I can't see what it says on the bottles. I need my eyes testing. I maybe have to pick up a vision offer on here, but my eyes are not, I don't know if I've zoomed back out too much. But anyway, I like neuropathy stuff, right? So this is, you know, I like this concept. This would be difficult to sort of create unless it's taken from the VSL, which again, probably non-compliant. I don't think the vendor would allow you to do it. They might, but you know, and I'm not saying it is from the VSL because I don't know what the VSL is. But I like it. Like the podcast style or concept has worked amazingly well for me and my style. We've ran ED, prostate, and men's health style offers where we've hired actors. In fact, our best actor has been from Fiverr, and I can't remember his name, like an older Latino guy, American guy, but Latino, and he just crushed. Like our podcast style, so we had him record scripts. It did get expensive because we were recording multiple scripts, so it was around $600 or $700 for 2 or 3 scripts, but they worked insanely well. Now again, and they just look way cleaner. I might show them at one point. They are in Ad Profits Academy. I've shown them multiple times inside of my community. So again, there's the plug. Jump inside if you're wanting to learn more affiliate stuff. We have weekly calls, community courses, well worth a visit if you're into this kind of stuff. But yeah, that concept works insanely well, and the human element is huge right now. I think AI is brilliant because obviously AI allows you to test very, very fast and cheap, right? Like Arcads, Creatify, these AI avatar, HeyGen, whatever you want. I don't think HeyGen is that great. I know it's good, but it's when we were using it, it was one of the first ones we started using quite a way back, and it became very difficult to get them to, you know, read the script without saying it's non-compliant. So Arcads and Creatify were a little better for us. So fast, you get it there and then, right? You can, rather than having to wait 3, 4, 5, 6 days for an actual human to record it. But there's nothing like the human touch. I think people are going to become more and more savvy to what's AI and what's not, especially when they've got the same avatars that are, you know, one day, you know, talking about a prostate offer, the next day talking about a skincare offer, the next day after that talking about a biz op offer, the next day after that talking about some survival offer, right? Like people start to put 2 and 2 together. Saying that, the way AI is accelerating, it's becoming more and more realistic, right? Look at the Oprah thing that we just looked at. You know, only a few months ago, it was still very easy for the trained eye to tell like an obvious like AI lip sync. However, that was, again, I don't know if you can hear the voiceover, so it might not be as telling for you guys watching it on the screen, but it was pretty realistic. The voice moves super, super well. So again, AI's accelerating at a crazy pace. All right, let's, nothing jumping out at me just yet. I'm not really intrigued in any of this stuff. Just want to show you some of the stuff that I'm looking at. I remember this kind of cartoon illustration. This is what was popping off, God, 5 years ago. Worked really well 5 years ago. And then obviously it started to fatigue. Everyone started to jump into, you know, recipe, 10 to 20 second recipe style videos. And then everyone started to go into these sort of explainer 2-minute script videos. You know, then obviously this UGC, then, you know, now the AI UGC, and now it looks like I'm seeing more and more of these that we're sort of making a full circle back to the cartoons, which is interesting, especially now with AI. Super easy. Like this looks like an AI generated one here. Anyway, all this AI, this is all AI stuff as well. So easy now to make creative. I don't know where best to put my head because I'm just going to get in the way wherever I am. Okay, this is interesting. I like this. This is a video, but it looks like it's going to be quadrant. It's a concept that I like a lot at the moment, is these, you know, what I call a quadrant. So like 4 different quads. But this one looks like it's video. And it looks like it's going to be for breathe or some kind of...
Do this every morning to clear stuck mucus from lungs and breathe easy all day long. Short or weak breathing is easy to blame on the lungs. So, do this every morning to clear stuck mucus from lungs.
I'm sure you've probably seen these style of images with the 4 quadrants, right? Before and after. Really good to get a before and after, and having something like quite curious, intriguing, like the baking soda or apple cider vinegar or vapor rub. Probably a good idea to swerve all of those, seeing as they're so overused, and try something else. Some thinking outside the box. But this is what I'm talking about, right? So I'll see something that I like. I like this. And obviously I'm talking from, you know, experience, that I have experience using this. So obviously, you know, I'm not saying, oh, I'm going to take this. This is a great idea. I've already been using it. What I'm saying is if I wasn't using it and this caught my attention, I would be thinking, okay, how can I make this more unique? How can I make it more in line with my campaigns? And one of those things would be, I don't want to use baking soda. I don't want to use, you know, hydrogen peroxide or vapor rub or any one of the million, you know, fatigued and overused, saturated sort of curiosity ingredients. There's got to become a time where those no longer create curiosity, because everyone knows it's another baking soda ad. It's another vapor rub ad, right? So again, that's just my opinion. I'm sure they still work. In fact, I know they still work because we still run them as well. But I'm just saying, you know, it's how do we adapt something to make it completely unique, right? All right, let's get back to it. All right, so I don't want to go too far into it. This is interesting, right? Same sort of concept, but instead of the baking soda,
mucus and phlegm stuck in your...
So they've got the before and after, but now it's just like a split with like I like
lungs.
That.
Over-the-counter mucus and cough suppressants help clear mucus and phlegm, right? No, not exactly. Look, do this simple method to clear out mucus and phlegm fast.
Potentially. Maybe just added their own hook. Anyway, okay, so like we could keep on going. Like I'm just trying to give you an idea. I haven't really found anything too crazy, and you can see some of this stuff that we're looking at is pretty outlandish, right? What have we got here? This Bizop. Yeah, dumb money. I can see down here. See, I'm not really too interested. I see how they blank Make America Great Again. Okay, so Bizop. Again, like we could... I'm just trying to give you an insight as to how I'd use it. You know, I'd spend some time going through. I'm taking a little bit more time because I'm explaining as well. But I'm going through. Anything that catches my eye, I'm checking out. Now, if we were to use this as an example, there's some pretty cool things that we can do here as well. Again, this isn't, you know, I'm not saying this isn't a good ad, but it's not one that I would probably spend too long looking at. I would keep on digging in. But, you know, we could be here for a long time before we find something suitable. I want to show you here, like, this is quite a new feature of SpyHero, is this analysis. I always struggle with that word. Ad analysis. So we can see the persona, which is pretty cool. Retired veteran. That's pretty cool. If we go back up, do we see that? So it's talking from a wife's perspective because it's talking about the husband. Let's see if we can find anything to do with ex-military or veteran. Like, why did he think it's a retired veteran? I'm not sure. I don't see it. No, I don't see where that comes in at. That's pretty interesting, isn't it? Why it takes that. unless I'm missing it. Unless it's on a landing page, I don't know. Interesting. Weird how that's, you know, the personas of a retired veteran when there's no mention of it, unless, again, like I've missed it. Okay, but caters for both genders, 60 plus, discovery. Now, the reason why I'm playing on that, or you know, sort of mentioning that, is because I think it's absolute paramount if you're looking to really gain an edge and scale your ads, your campaigns, that you really spend time testing avatars. And by avatars, I mean personas, right? Who are we talking to? Because for me, for this to be a retired veteran, again, SpyHero, I don't know where it's getting that from, but, you know, that would be a really good avatar to test, retired veterans, right? You know, this breathing thing, again, you know, ex-military guys, whatever, or girls and guys. But like, that'd be a really good avatar to test. What I found is this can often be the way to scaling in completely unsaturated markets, promoting the most saturated offer. And that, again, I'm talking about, you know, in general. I'm not talking specifically to this offer that we're looking at now. But what I'm seeing is, you know, I'll keep on going back to this Men's Health example because it's just a really good example and one that I have like direct experience of within the last few days. I'm running Men's Health offers, okay? Now, most ClickBank offers, you know, when we look through the copy, the creative, a lot of these offers are catered towards the older demographic. Rightfully so. They're probably the biggest market of buyers. They've probably got the most, you know, loose cash. And they're probably, in, you know, no rude terms, the most susceptible to these types of offers as well. Like the most, you know, again, I'm not going to say dumb, but you get the picture, right? The most susceptible to, you know, none of these offers, these magic pills are solving anything overnight, but they all are positioned to, or a lot of them are. They all make outlandish claims. So while everyone's going after 65-year-old Sally, what about, you know, 49-year-old Frank or 29-year-old Miguel or whatever, right? Because when you look at all the ED offers or ads, again, they all cater to the older demographic. Again, rightly so. You know, most men or most people who suffer from ED, men, obviously, most men who suffer from ED, to be fair, at this time, you actually don't know. You could say either. But, you know, it's going to be 50 plus, right? Prostate, the same. However, there's definitely still room in that market. And I've ran these type of ads for the best part of 3 years now. And I can tell you through my own personal data that it's pretty stupid to blank out all the younger demographic, because quite often in my campaigns, they're the best buyers. They're my cheapest CPA, my highest ROAS. Okay, they might not be the highest volume if I'm running 18 plus, but if I find the right ad that speaks to the right market, the right avatar or persona, then it's game over. Like, I can scale to the moon, super low CPMs, because there's no one else running ads to that segment of the market. There's no one else speaking to that market segment. And if I've got the right offer that converts with that, obviously, market segment, it's game over. It really is. And like I said, I've got some really good, very recent, fresh data that completely backs that up. So I really do advise everyone to sort of be testing not only creatives, not only ad angles, but also actual avatars. Who are you talking to, right? Everyone, if we go through SpyHero and look at the copy and who this is catered towards, 9 out of 10 ads are talking to a 65-year-old grandma, right? It's just how it is. What I'm saying is pull yourself out of that and start talking to younger markets, middle-aged markets, older markets, but maybe not grandmas, maybe different people, right? And I guarantee, again, I won't guarantee, but I can confidently assume that you will see a massive difference in cost and also potentially conversion. For me, I see it, and it's one of the first things that we tackle in any new campaign now. Okay, enough of that. I'm harping on a little bit. I'm conscious that we don't want to be here for hours and hours. All right, let's actually, what I was going to do there before I got distracted was talk about this new feature. Okay, so retired veteran, some of these, again, we don't know where they're getting it from, but we can see the angle, discovery, which is interesting. The hook type, personal revelation. It's just quite cool. I quite like how, what's been added here. I think it's pretty good. Compliance risk, medium. Complexity, moderate. Claim, herbal trick. Interesting, right? First person, story format. Seniors with pain as the audience. Okay, demographics. Just gives you some good idea, right? Emotion, flow, skepticism, curiosity, hope, relief. And then we've got compliance issues, potential issues for compliance. I haven't really dug into any of this to see how legit it is. But I do find it very interesting. I think it's quite cool what they've done. I like it. Okay, now we do usually as well. I don't know why we're not seeing similar ad copy. Usually we see that here. Similar ad copy, similar creatives. Again, not sure why we're not seeing that. Let's refresh the page real quick. No, nothing. All right, let's jump off, and I want to go and try and find an offer that we can look at in a bit more depth. Let's have a look at Memory Wave, because I mentioned that before. There's a good old vapor rub. Can't beat the vapor rub. Applying it to your brain through the nose. Good old vapor rub. It's a bit blurry. But anyway, I still don't know where to put my face without covering everything up. Lots of vapor rub, same page. And see this quadrant image again, right? The before and after. Yeah, and quite, so it's slightly bigger. So the bigger brain, and obviously, we've got this white part, which I don't really know what it, I kind of, know what it means, but it's quite vague, right? See if it's the same copy, different copy, or at least different hook. Different copy as well, different story. That's cool. Let's go and open this guy up and see what's going on. Let's have a little look down here as well, see if anything else catches our eye. I quite like, this catches my attention a little bit. The young friends and the older friends. Okay, then the AI generated grandma with baby. Private jet, whatever she's on there. Interesting, right? And this is the same page as well. All these ads that we're seeing. Just notice what I'm looking at. So we've got completely, every single advertiser or affiliate that we're seeing here. You're just gonna have to make do with my head being up there. But every single one is running completely different stuff, creative wise. I haven't looked at the copy. We've got this quadrant, we've got this teaspoon. In fact, I probably know who this is, so maybe we won't look into their ads too much. But we've got this, sticky note, we've got this vapor rub, right? So we've got those styles of creative, right? Then we've got this one, Happy Health Wealthy Blog, which is, they're all the same, but obviously a little bit more grandma and grandkid again. And then obviously this sort of it's not my type of thing. It doesn't really reach out to me. But what does reach out to me is it's been running a few days, 15 and 18 days. These are fairly new. Doesn't mean that, this affiliate hasn't already been running. It just means that they might have just refreshed their ads, right? And also, this doesn't mean that these are all the ads they're running. We'll go into that in a second. But now we've got this, right? Happy, Healthy, Wealthy Blog. These ads don't do anything for me. However, they really don't, because they're really quite vague. But they've been running a few days. Again, that doesn't mean anything. People say, well, the longer they've been running, the more successful they are. And that could be true. But also, if they're only running $2 a day, $5 a day, $10 a day, right, then they could be running that amount of time and still not be that successful, right? So, again, we don't know. All we can do is assume. Okay, and I'll show you some things that I use to sort of, never guarantee or confirm accurately, but at least give me a little indicator. Then we've got this one, right? This is memory loss. This is, fairly addy, if you want to call it that. Again, not a big fan of it. But this page catches my attention, and the reason why, it just stands out a little bit, right? Very long form copy, really long form copy, and it looks like it's all AI written, and I can tell because they've got these M dashes, M dashes everywhere. You know, I can see how it's formatted. I can see the emojis, like very, very clearly AI, and in fact, probably this is AI as well. M dash, I can see. Not as many. Anyway, we won't go into it. Let's stick with one thing. Very long form. Been running 10 days. If I move my head over there. But what I like about it is I like the image. Like, you don't see these styles of images very often, right? And then these images grab my attention as well. Again, I'm not a big fan of them. But, like, let's have a look at the copy. Again, nice long form story copy. And I'm going to guess it's congruent with the image, right? Promoted to vice president, so obviously a business lady. Again, I'm not reading this copy, so I could be completely off there. But I'm just trying to, you know, got the nice belt, is that Gucci or whatever it is, the private jet, nice suit, Gucci bag or LV bag, whatever it is. I just, you know, this is it's a good ad. I like this style of ad. I'm not saying it's working. I have no idea if it's working, but I like it because it's different. And that's the big thing for me, is like, how do we stand out from the crowd? This is completely different. Now, again, I'm not combing through this copy. I can see, like, obviously big play on memory. I'm just wondering, is it congruent with the lady stood outside the caravan? No, it's the same copy as the private jet one with the vice president. So I'm not sure what this has anything to do with, you know, caravanning. But I could be completely off. I'm not combing through this, right? So there might be something in there. What I'd like to do is open one of these up. Let's open this one up. I don't know if I already did or not. Okay, so I'm looking, what else have they been promoting? They've promoted Genius Wave, Brain Song. So those are two other, are they memory offers? I think Genius Wave might be a manifestation offer. Brain Song maybe is a memory offer. What I like about Memory Wave is it's a digital offer. I've really made a heavy move the last few months to pretty much only promoting digital offers. I think we see a big trend from like the ClickBank, Buy Goods. Everyone's, you know, solely focused on Nutri supplements. I think there's going to be a big pivot where everyone starts going back to digital, like it was in 2018. You know, before, I think 2019 is when Leptotox, I believe, came out, and then Resurge, and then, you know, hundreds of other supplements followed. I think we're going to see a pivot. Don't quote me on that, but that's the way I feel. That's why I think the market shifts. For me, the reasons why I like digital is it's just mass scalable. Like, I can run it, I won't say worldwide, but I can run it in parts of the world which, you know, maybe supplements wouldn't run to. I really like that. I like the fact that I can, you know, get $4 CPAs in Paraguay, or, you know, a 7% conversion rate in Botswana. Or, you know, like all of these different places that you'd never think. Like, I've got a campaign running right now. One of the best ROAS geos, it has over 10 sales, is Mongolia. Who'd have thought it? Not me, right? So while everyone's like cutting each other's throats in the US, competing, you know, to get a 0.5% conversion rate, excuse the dog, I'm playing in markets where there's nobody else, where I'm getting $2 CPMs and 7% rates, right? It's insane. So I really like it. Digital for me, scalable, also super, you know, much lower cost as well. So you usually see higher conversion rates. AOV needs to back out. Obviously, that's a big thing. But we can see the balance, right? So what I like is, you know, if I see a high conversion rate on a lower AOV, it can balance out, right? We don't always need these $200 payouts. Obviously, it's nice to have, and don't get me wrong, it's great to have. But if I'm paying, you know, $80 CPMs on a 0.5% conversion rate to get paid $200 versus paying $10 CPMs on a 5% conversion rate and a $50 CPA, which one backs out best, right? I can tell you it's the digital. It's the second option, I think, if I've done that math right. And that was me just spitting numbers out of my head. But for me, it backs out. So the bulk of my campaigns now are all digital offers. Right, back to this. We're going off on many tangents. I want to try and keep this below an hour, and I can see the clock's ticking. So let's get into it. So again, lonely widower. Again, I haven't read the copy. No idea. Losing my husband. So yeah, we're on point. Lonely widower. SpyHero's right with that. 60 plus is the age range, as it always is. And again, memory offers. You're probably looking at that anyway. Scientific breakthroughs acclaim. Ad set in a luxury hotel. Interesting, right? Demographics, urban lifestyle. This is what I think is really important. I've got inside of Ad Profits Academy, we have, this, at the moment it's called Ad Scope, where we have this prompt sheet, and we're able to just go back and forth with AI and just absolutely extract just the most important points of an avatar, from the emotional pain points to the triggers that set off those pain points to who this person is. An avatar is not just demographics. It isn't just how old they are, where they live, are they married, right? It's so much more. It's what is their everyday scenario? What are the trigger points, right? Is it a show on Netflix that triggers them? Is it something that they see on Instagram that triggers them, right? What is it? And knowing that makes your copy so much more powerful, right? So, and, again, like it shows in the campaigns that I'm running right now. I'm seeing a lot of success really going deep into avatars. Again, more on that inside of Ad Profits. So another little plug. If you want to learn more, then make sure you reach out. Okay, now here's a similar ad copy. This is what I was getting at before. So when I find one ad, I can then start to find others, right? So if any of this grabs my attention, now we're going really deep into this demographic person, which is interesting. I'm going to have a look at that. I open it up in View Ads. Let's go and have a look and see who is Donna McClenahan in Goose Creek. So same page. Is it the same page? Actually, I don't know if it is the same page. Yes, it is. Mind and Body Sync. So this is more copy from April. And I'm guessing NASA 10-minute secret song is going to be Brain Song. Not really sure what this split image is for. Again, I'm not going to go too far into it. It's just interesting, right? It's interesting. I don't recognize the affiliate ID. This is something that I do. Doesn't mean that this isn't a killer, by the way. I have a feeling this person knows what they're doing. But, for me, I look at the affiliate ID because obviously I know some IDs. Some are friends. Some I know I've seen on other offers, scaling offers, etc., etc. So that's an indicator to me. Is this if I see this as an ID that I recognize, that I know is, a heavy affiliate, then that makes me think, okay, there's probably a good chance that these ads are working. And again, I'm not swiping, I'm not ripping, but I might take some ideas like this kind of angle I like. This is not what you usually see. And I think it's really important. I saw another example of this recently, which was a little bit more aggressive, but it was still very interesting. Okay, back to what else SpyHero adds. Creative analysis, is it? Creative analysis. And yeah, you know what I mean. But now it gives us a detail on the actual creative. So a group of 4 women walking arm in arm, homemade style, photo, strengths, image features group of older women. It's just really freaking good. And again, I'm not saying it's on point every time, but it's pretty good, that. I like it. I think it's solid. Similar creatives. So now we get, to see similar things. Again, we've got some big ladies on the beach. I guess would be more in weight loss. Love this. This before and after, but they've blurred the after. Really clever. Obviously clever, but very simple as well. Very obvious. Still put you in a little bit of hot water. It's pretty obvious what this is. But I could see it working if you blur it, pixelate it enough. And then, so this person's actually going direct by the looks of it, which again is interesting. I'm not a fan of going direct. I get why people do it. For me, I see better success sending to a landing page. I also like to have that element of control. See, as an affiliate, we only have the ad and the lander, right? We can't control the offer, or we can, but the only thing we can control with the offer is by killing it and putting in another one, right? So we have the choice to pivot to another offer within a snap of the fingers. But in terms of campaign control, we can control the ad and we can control the lander. So if we choose to send direct, we lose one of those points of control. I'm not a big fan. I like to have control of that lander because I also see by having a good in-depth landing page, pre-sale page, bridge page, whatever you want to call it, can have massive impact on the conversion rate of the offer. So for me, it's a big, big thing. I don't want to lose that lander. And for me right now, quizzes are absolutely insane. Like I try and have a quiz in every single campaign that I'm running. Sometimes I'll switch to advertorial or more pre-sale style. I don't like splash pages unless the offer is crushing. If the offer is converting no matter what I chuck at it, then my job is to get as much traffic to it as possible, which could be a case for this direct affiliate. If the offer is absolutely crushing and the offer is converting like crazy, then yeah, get as much traffic to it as possible. But usually we need to be a bit more smart about it, right? We usually need to send to a lander. Again, you leave yourself at risk of getting shut down or restricted by sending to the same lander. Like obviously you'd want a custom domain, which this could be. GoMemoryWave.com could be custom to this affiliate only. Kind of think it's probably not, but who knows? But hopefully that makes sense, right? Then we can see what else is going on. I do like some of these images. It's pretty cool. I like this split with the black and white. I've seen this working quite well with a relationship offer that we're running at the moment. We're not particularly this, but like a photo, but playing on like highlighting the contrast and black and white on it. It's worked really well. This is interesting. Again, not sure where this still looks like it's on Brainsong. It was running for quite a while, but not sure what's going on. Some kids having a scrap. I don't know how that's relating to it, this Genius Kids thing. It's interesting though. This is the type of stuff that I love. This is why I like SpyHero, because, I can go and with no idea about what I'm going to find, stumble down a path, and then I'm like, oh, that's interesting. This is interesting. The man's no longer in the photo. Same bridge. This is an older photo, and obviously AI. This is a newer photo. What's happened, right? It's just intriguing. This play on the wealth aspect with the private jet, first class, business class type stuff. Very interesting. Now, this is a really nice feature. I'm not seeing too much about it. This has been around forever, by the way, but this more pages or ads with the same affiliate ID and more ads with the pixel ID. What I like about this is if we find an affiliate that's crushing it, but they've also got other pages running other offers, other ads, then that allows us to go and see what's going on over there, right? So I really like it. This is, like SpyHero can open so many, different avenues up for which way you go. Now, one thing I do like to do, I'm not going to do it now, but what I do like to do is I like to visit the page. That then obviously I can go through and visit the Facebook page, visit the ad library, because I want to make sure the ads are still live. And I also want to see what's actually live now, because there's always going to be a delay in what SpyHero crawl. Obviously it's a tool, it's a software. They're never going to be instant. Like as soon as the ad's published, oh, it's added to SpyHero, right? It's every few days, I think, like 2 to 3 days, there's a new batch that come in. And that could be completely wrong. I don't know. But it takes a couple of days for ads to appear inside of the spy tool, as to my knowledge, does every spy tool, by the way. But again, it's just a really good resource for being able to find an ad, find angles. This is interesting. And again, I'm not saying, I'm just going to take all these images and I'm not saying that. I'm not even saying take the angle. What I'm saying is this opens up, okay, this is an interesting angle. I wonder if I can think of an angle along something like this, which is a little bit out of the box. And AI is a great place to start, right? By feeding the images, especially with ChatGPT 5 now. I see it's I've only been using it just today, really. I started using it, but I'm seeing it being, you know, I'm feeding images into it and seeing a lot more input, a lot more detail from, you know, explain to me what's going on in this image, which is very cool. Also with the, you know, the ad copy, etc. What angles are these? Can we think of similar ones? Super, super easy. AI make it very, very easy to sort of, you know, come up with ideas. You could even copy this as like, this is what, you know, the angles from this particular ad. I want to find something unique, something different. What do you suggest? Easy, easy. All right, so I find an ad, I find some angles. This is quite a cool hook as well, the 103rd birthday. You know, I find, you know, how can I extract some of this and mold it into my own ad without ripping, right? Without copy pasting. I'm not saying that. That's just a real lazy way. And it ends in one way only. And that's you having your pants pulled down. Because at some point, you're going to have to go back and find a winning ad. And if you're just relying, and I know some people, and we'll say stupid people, have been, I don't know if they still are, but have been completely reliant on that model. And more fool them, okay? Don't be ripping. You know, there's no skill set gained from that. Okay. Well, I think, you know, there's only so much I can explain about SpyHero. There's, by the way, we've only touched two parts. We've touched the homepage where we saw the top 10 offers. We touched the actual library where we can just go in and start, you know, mooching about. We'll go back to that real quick because what I didn't even look at was how we can go through any of these filters, put in keywords, right? Let me, one thing I will bring up is what I found the other day, which really intrigued me, is, I'm not sure if it was this. It wasn't. Okay, I think what I did is I'd typed in sciatica and just a certain angle of ad. This was a little bit aggressive. I mentioned it before, but it grabbed my attention. Similar to the ones with the older lady. Okay, so we can see this again. Good old vapor rub, good old hydrogen peroxide. Quite like that. How they've, you know, in the kitchen cupboard, they've blurred out the ingredient. Again, nothing new. Here's a quadrant, right? We know that with Vaseline this time. The sticky notes, but AI generated. Quite like this. In fact, this is a similar sort of concept that I've run in neuropathy with this sort of article video thing. Like this, but it's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a specific affiliate. And I can't remember. It maybe wasn't on here either. I'm getting confused. I'm pretty sure I'd searched an offer and it was sciatica, but okay, here we go. All right, this grabbed my attention because I was looking for sciatica, obviously. This isn't running to a sciatica ease. It's running to Alpha Cur, which is a neuropathy offer, hence why you see neuropathy down here, hence why you see gabapentin up here. But Alpha Cur also have a sciatica angled VSL, which is, I think, what they've been running here, or why this is coming up in the sciatica play anyway. But look, now it's a little bit aggressive because clearly this person isn't in hospital or in a bed because of neuropathy or sciatica. Clearly, you know, they look pretty banged up. So that's where it's like, you know, it's a little bit aggressive. Then in the wheelchair, right, this person laid in bed, she's got some socks on. I can see there's a cast or something around her leg. You know, a walking aid, you know, crutches, wheelchair, again, banged up lady. Big old cast around the legs, some kind of compression maybe, or I did see some with compression. You know, some of these people don't look well, right? So, you know, that's a bit like, and again, I haven't read through the copy in detail, so there could be completely congruence with this, as in like they ended up in hospital, but you can see some of these people don't look in too good nick, right? But the reason why I'm showing it here is because it caught my attention. Now, by the way, I'm not the market. I don't have neuropathy, don't have sciatica. I have had a slip disc before, but that's another story. But if it grabs my attention And by the way, I see these, you know, ads, SpyHero, ClickBank, Buy Goods, Digistore. I see those ads all the time. What grabs my attention and stands out, you know, is important that I look into that. Why does it grab my attention? Because what I don't want to do in my ads is become a sheep amongst a flock. I don't want to be in a red ocean, right? I want to be like this. I want to be more blue ocean. I don't see, and I have seen ads similar to this for these particular offers, but they're few and far between. I'm not saying these ads are working. The fact that they only ran 4 days either means that they weren't working, or this page got restricted, or, you know, potentially the ads got rejected, or whatever, right? Any amount of reasons could be. But they grab my attention because they just stand out. Now, again, are they compliant? Are they within, you know, if you've got morals, probably not. But I could see it working. Some of these are a little bit irrelevant in the fact that that's quite clearly not going to be a neuropathy case. However, if in the copy is she fell down the stairs because she couldn't bloody walk, she couldn't feel her feet, or she ended up in a car crash because the neuropathy was that bad in her foot, she couldn't apply the brake, she couldn't feel her feet, then, and there might be, by the way, I haven't read the copy in detail, so I have no idea. But then that would lead into some congruency. Is it right? Nope, still don't make it right, but like there at least would be some relevancy as to why this person's, you know, why they're showing an image of someone so banged up. All right, so again, you know, this is just by using these filters. Again, you stumble across ads like this. Fantastic. You got niches, you know, like health, all these different health offers or niches, insurance. So you got some lead gen stuff, make money online, DIY, all that type of stuff. Let's go back and have a look. You've also got fan pages, which is quite cool, where you can search through fan pages. So if you've got a certain fan page, blah, 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 you can search through that. Landing pages, again, the landers. So now we can see the types of landers running. So we've got this sort of blag. It's not far wrong, right? Blog style, story-based. I think a blag style is probably better. Then people that are you know, using filters and cloaking and exclusions and all that type of stuff to keep people away from the lander. Then people running direct and more blag styles, directs, splash pages, blag style, splash. I don't see many quizzes. This is interesting. This is more like an e-com style page. Direct. This is a good offer, by the way. Skincare offer over here, this MD one. I do have experience with this offer. It's a solid offer. I know the guys behind it. All right. I don't really see. Again, landers, right? It's pretty self-explanatory. There's good old Ted. Shilajit, more e-com stuff. Very cool. Then we've got offers. Again, you know, pretty self-explanatory. Winners, I've not seen this one. I don't know what the winners are. So hot offers, again, probably similar to the top 10 that we saw on the homepage. Trending offers, which we saw. Winning campaigns, which is interesting. Based on what? I don't know. I don't know what this is based on. Like, I'm guessing the amount of time and it's still active could be potentially it. But for me, I mean, there's different ways. Let me show you one way that I like to see if we've got someone running heavy. I don't really want to see Lee, so take you out. I want to find the page that this was running on. Let's see if we can find where we were before. What were we looking at? Memory Wave. Let's go and search Memory Wave real quick. God damn you, Lee. Oh, I've gone back to it. What the hell? What a spasm. Here we go. All right, let's do that again. Memory Wave, search. I want to find the angle with the down here, right? This catches my attention. We're not going to, because they're running direct. I forgot. All right. Okay, well, I mean, just on the back of it anyway, I don't want to, there's certain affiliates that I know whose ads they are. I don't really want to give their game away. So I'm going to go here And obviously now, we're on probably, I don't think it's a custom domain. What I wanted to show you is a really good way is of confirming that someone's scaling is to run it through SimilarWeb. So here, like and by the way, this is just a free account, nothing going on here. You get, I think, 25 free searches a week, which again, depending on how much spying you're doing, should be enough, right? But I can see 69,000 monthly visits. I see the trend, May nothing, June, July, probably August even more so by the end of August. Is this a custom domain? I don't know if it is or not. Let's just go back to this. So we were looking at Go Memory Wave. Oh man, it's annoying me that I have to keep going back to the start, but never mind. We will just quickly look where this ad's running us. No, because he's not showing us the page. So let's just, wouldn't you think it'd take you back to the memory wave? So this review is going to end up negative in a minute. Right, because I just want to see where other people are running to. That's all I want to do. Okay, is this another affiliate? Yeah, different affiliate. I want to see the landing page. And then I want to click through to the offer. Okay, interesting. This is memorywaveoriginal.com. So how much traffic is this getting? Okay, interesting. More traffic, right? But if this is the main domain, then you would expect to see more traffic because most affiliates will be sending traffic here. However, if we go back to this one, sugar. Can't you tell now I'm, God damn it. Okay, right, you just gotta have to make do with it being blanked because every time I click off. But this one, GoMemoryWave.com, I think is either custom domain or maybe just a handful of affiliates running it. And we can see the trend is up. So now, if this was just this affiliate that we found who's running the private jet, the old people having fun image angles, and we see that they're sending traffic solely them to this domain, GoMemoryWave.com, because they've got a custom domain. And last month they had 69,000. We're trending upwards. We could assume that maybe they got over 100,000 or will have 100,000 in the last few weeks. Then we can assume, okay, maybe these guys are spending a decent amount. Remember, if we know that they're running direct, we can sort of guesstimate how much their cost per click is, right? So like if we were to say, and again, if they were running US only, good click-through rate, then it's probably going to be around $1 a click. If they get 100,000, people to the offer over the last 2 weeks at $1 a click, then we know it's going to be $100,000 spent. Again, I'm not saying, this is just me, just spitting numbers out. I'm not doing any I'm not doing any calculations or formulas. This is just me guessing, complete guesswork, right? Don't be holding me to it if it's like, well, actually I ran an insider spy report. I don't care, right? If we're just saying $1 a click, could be 50 cents, could be 20 cents, could be $2. Don't give a shit. $1 a click, 100K over 2 weeks, not bad, right? 50K a week. We got to assume that they're going to be making money to spend that amount, even if they're operating on like a 30% net. That's 30K profit in the bag, not bad. That's touching on high 6 figures profit a month, which is damn good. So there you go, right? That's what I'm looking at. That's where I'm going. It's like I'm not just, playing around and seeing. So we got to there from landers, I think, or from winners, sorry. There's also, or was, the reports. So the reports, popular headlines, ad copy, again, for inspiration purposes only. Popular affiliate IDs, not as effective as what it once was. When, before ClickBank started encrypting the hot link, obviously, it was easy to see this ID. You'd have the same ID running 1,000 ads, obviously scaling. Everyone knew whose ID that was, and obviously was able to determine, they're a diamond affiliate. They made 200K in a day. They did this. They did that. We can't really do that anymore because obviously most affiliates encrypt their hot link. And then obviously buy goods is a lot more difficult because it's just a random number on every offer. So that affiliate ID never remains the same. Similar to MaxWeb maybe. Digistore is, the same ID as well. But anyway, so we are over an hour. My intention was to try and keep this to half an hour, so I do apologize. But this is a really good way. Hopefully there's a little bit of value here as to how I use SpyHero. It's by far my most used spy tool. I use other spy tools, and I love other spy tools, by the way. I use way too many spy tools. But the fact is, for me, this allows me to find the exact ads that I'm looking for the exact offers, right? Whereas sometimes I use other spy tools to get completely different angles and ideas and inspiration. This is where I can go when I'm, to just start, okay, I want to test this offer. What's running on this offer so far? SpyHero's the place to go. All right, so let's wrap it up. Down below, there's a couple of things. One, there's a link to join SpyHero on a trial. I think it's a 7-day trial. I might have said 14 days before. 7-day free trial. Sign up, see what you like, have a play with it, see if you can sort of stumble across some killer ads that you can craft into your own unique ads and find some winning offers. Also, if you want to learn more about Ad Profits Academy, this is my flagship community and program. This is where we have weekly calls, weekly community. We've got a Telegram channel that's popping off. Any questions you've got, just fire them away inside of the community. And, someone, if not myself, will be getting back to you within a few hours tops. Then we've got lots of course content, all the weekly recordings from calls in the past, and just more and more content coming in. Also, we've got Ad Profits Network, which is a boutique network with some exclusive and semi-exclusive offers that maybe aren't as readily available, such as Memory Wave. Memory Wave isn't an offer that you can get on ClickBank without being platinum or diamond or both. So if that's something that you're interested in, getting exclusive access, then Ad Profits Academy would be a great place, as well as getting the foundational training and support to launch, test, and scale the shit out of some campaigns. Anything you want to know about that, if you can book a call below, or you can send me a message on Instagram and we can chat back and forth and see if this is a fit for you. It's not for everyone, for sure, but I think it's definitely for a lot of people that are already running ads and really looking to get an edge and to scale. It's a really good place to be. All right, guys, thank you, and I'll speak to you in the next one.